Capricorn. Something powerful is coming. And no, it's not a coincidence. May 25th to May 31st is not a normal week. It's a cosmic countdown, a final exam for your soul, a spiritual pressure point placed directly in your path by the universe. And here's the part most people won't tell you. You're being watched, not by people, not by critics, but by something far greater, the universe, the divine, your future self. Capricorn, this is your final karmic test before June resets your energetic timeline. A test that will quietly determine who stays in your life, what doors open for you, and whether your destiny evolves or pauses. If you pass it, you break the old cycles that have haunted you for years. You rise into power, alignment, peace. But if you fail it, you'll feel it. Delays, loops, spiritual fatigue, a sense that no matter what you do, things just won't move. This isn't punishment, it's precision. Because Capricorn, you're too powerful to sleep through this moment. The universe doesn't test you unless it's preparing you for something greater. So I want you to take a breath. Ground yourself. Because what I'm about to tell you isn't surface-level astrology. It's not sugar-coated positivity. This is the truth about what's coming between May 25th and May 31st. The 3 deadly spiritual mistakes that could destroy your destiny if you're not aware. And more importantly, how to survive them, how to pass the test, how to rise higher than anyone ever expected you to. So don't scroll, don't click away, because the next 30 minutes could determine what version of your life you walk into this summer. The countdown has already started. The universe is watching, and your soul is being asked, are you finally ready to break the pattern, or will you repeat the pain? Let's begin. Capricorn, it's time to talk about what's really happening in the cosmos this week. From May 25th to May 31st, your ruling planet, Saturn, is shifting in a way that sends a ripple across your soul path. This isn't astrology fluff, this is serious. Because Saturn isn't some random planet, it's your cosmic father, the one who brings karmic correction, structure, order, and time. And when Saturn moves, Capricorn feels it first. So what's this shift about? It's about testing your foundation, not to break you, but to see if you're finally ready for what you've been asking for. This week, expect some intense patterns to surface. Emotional flashbacks, old wounds, childhood triggers, or past betrayals may resurface. Not to hurt you, but to test your healing. Sudden responsibilities. You may feel like the world is on your shoulders, like everyone's relying on you. This is Saturn's pressure, seeing if you crack or rise. Delays that feel unfair, whether it's money, love, or opportunity, something may stall. Don't panic. These pauses are divine redirections, an urge to give up. You may want to throw in the towel, say, I'm done. But this, Capricorn, is the moment you must resist. Because here's the secret. These aren't punishments. They're spiritual pop quizzes, tests of faith, tests of strength, tests of your alignment. You ask the universe for abundance, peace, love, success. Now it's asking you, have you become the person who can hold what you desire? June is not coming empty-handed. There's a divine reward coded into the next cycle, but only for those who pass the May 25th to 31st checkpoint. So don't collapse under the pressure. Stand up, breathe deep, hold the line, because what looks like resistance right now is actually the universe building your momentum. And trust me, when Saturn clears the path after this test, the blessings that were blocked for years will finally find you. Capricorn, your karmic story is changing, but you have to earn the next chapter. Let's move deeper. The first deadly mistake is coming. Capricorn, you are the master of control. You've spent your whole life learning how to keep it together, even when everything inside you is falling apart. You've been the rock, the planner, the fixer, but now you're being called to be something else. Intuitive, receptive, spiritually aware. Because from May 25th to 31st, your gut feeling, your inner alarm, will start to scream. And if you ignore it, that's your first deadly mistake. What does this look like? Saying yes to a situation when everything inside you says, run. Agreeing to a commitment that drains your soul just to avoid disappointing someone. Staying in that job, that relationship, that loop, out of guilt or habit. Feeling that tightness in your chest, that sinking feeling in your stomach, and brushing it off like it's nothing. But let's be clear, Capricorn, that's not just anxiety, that's not just stress. That is your soul screaming, this is not right. This isn't for you. Turn around. Cosmic insight. This week, you will be spiritually pinged again and again. You might see angel numbers like 111, 444, 911. Dreams that feel too real. Deja vu, moments that shake you. Chills out of nowhere when thinking about someone or something. These are not accidents. They are divine messages. The universe is trying to protect your timeline, but here's the trap. Capricorns often confuse intuition with paranoia because you're so used to relying on logic. And this week, logic will fail you. Only your spiritual radar can guide you through this test. Ignore these signals, and you could delay your destiny until 2030. You heard that right. 5 years of going in circles, trying to fix what could have been avoided. But if you trust your gut now, if you say no when your soul says no, you will pass this first test with power and clarity. This is your warning, Capricorn. The soul always whispers before it screams. The question is, are you listening? Let's move to mistake number 2. Capricorn, let's get real. Your energy is not infinite. You're not a machine. You're not built to carry everyone else's chaos while sacrificing your own soul. And yet, this week, from May 25th to 31st, you'll be tested like never before, not by enemies, but by the people closest to you. Who are they? A boss who piles on responsibilities without appreciation. A friend who suddenly makes you feel guilty for evolving. A partner who projects their emotional storms onto your peace. And the spiritual test? Will you cave to their chaos? Or will you protect your peace? This brings us to mistake number 2, letting guilt override your boundaries. Capricorn, you've spent the last 6 months learning how to say no. You've done the inner work, you've cried, you've healed, you've rebuilt your self-worth from the ground up. But here's what most don't tell you. When you start protecting your energy, that's when people push back the hardest. Why? Because they were benefiting from the old, self-sacrificing version of you. And when that version begins to fade, they panic, they guilt trip, they try to make you feel like you are the problem. Don't fall for it. You are not selfish for having boundaries. You are sacred. And your peace is your superpower this week. Repeat this right now. I am not here to be drained. I am here to be aligned. You don't owe anyone access to your time, your energy, or your emotional bandwidth, especially if they're not contributing to your healing. Universal rule: every time you enforce a boundary during a spiritual test, the universe upgrades your timeline. It's like leveling up in a video game. But if you break those boundaries just to avoid conflict, you reset, you loop, you stay stuck. Capricorn, this week will expose who respects your evolution and who only tolerated the version of you that overgave. Stand firm, because your next chapter depends on it. Now, let's talk about the final and most dangerous mistake of all, Capricorn. This is the most dangerous mistake of all, not because it's loud, but because it's quiet. It creeps in slowly, right after you've done all the work. Right when you've poured your heart, your time, your energy into something that matters, and suddenly, you feel it. My hard work didn't pay off. Nothing's happening. I'm still stuck. But let me say this clearly. That feeling? It's not truth. It's an illusion, a final spiritual mirage meant to test your faith. Mistake number 3 is believing the lie that your destiny is dead. Capricorn, your destiny isn't gone. It's underground, growing roots, quietly, silently, powerfully, just like a seed before it breaks through the soil. You can't see it yet, but it's working. Every decision you made to level up, every time you set a boundary, every moment you chose growth over comfort, it's accumulating. This week, May 25th to 31st, is your incubation window, the final dark phase before the bloom in June. And this is when most people give up. They walk away from the garden they planted to just before the harvest. Capricorn, don't dig up what you've been planting. Don't walk away from the timeline that's finally beginning to unfold, because this is where faith becomes your fuel. You won't get constant signs, you won't get instant validation, but the energy is shifting beneath the surface. And if you quit now, the portal closes, the alignment slips through, and the breakthrough you were one step away from is delayed. But if you hold the line, if you endure just a little longer, you are about to explode into alignment. The people who doubted you, the doors that were locked, the rewards that felt forever out of reach, suddenly they appear because you held your faith when everything said, give up. Capricorn, the final illusion is silence. But beneath that silence, your destiny is preparing to bloom, Capricorn. Pause for a second, take a deep breath, and remember who you really are. You weren't born to play small. You weren't placed on this earth just to survive, pay bills, and repeat old cycles. No. You were born to rise, to break generational curses, to turn your deepest pain into divine purpose, to build empires from the dust they buried you in. But here's the truth the world rarely tells you. Before elevation comes examination. Before destiny comes the test. And right now, from May 25th to 31st, you're standing in front of it. 3 soul-level tests, 3 spiritual mirrors, 3 chances to finally step out of the loop and into the life you were destined for. No, it won't be easy. Yes, it will feel heavy. Yes, your old patterns will try to pull you back. You'll hear the voices of self-doubt. You'll feel the pressure to quit. You'll wonder if it's even worth it. But in these moments, Capricorn, you must remember who the hell you are. You are the architect of your future. You are the mountain climber, the healer, the one the ancestors are praying for. This is not punishment. This is your soul's graduation test. The final question the universe is asking you. Will you pass your test, or will you pause your evolution? Because make no mistake, the outcome is in your hands now. Say this out loud. Say it with power. Say it until your body believes it. I am ready for alignment. I choose my destiny. I pass my test. Let this be your declaration. Let this be your anchor. Let this be your shift. Capricorn, if you knew what was waiting for you on the other side of this week, you wouldn't hesitate. You would rise. You would push forward. You would claim what's been yours for lifetimes. Because this isn't just about this week. It's about every lifetime you've lived, leading to this moment of power. So now, will you pass? Capricorn, if this message spoke to your soul, then listen closely, because your journey doesn't end here. Subscribe right now and turn on the bell. Why? Because your divine timeline is unfolding step by step, and this channel is here to guide you through each part of your evolution. You're not walking this path alone. You're being guided, you're being prepared, and these messages, these cosmic updates, are arriving just when your soul needs them most. Share this video with another Capricorn, a friend, a sibling, a co-worker, anyone who's been silent about their struggle but fighting a spiritual war behind the scenes. You never know. You could be the person who helps them pass their test. You could be the light that stops them from giving up. Now scroll down and comment this 11 times below. I pass my tests. I protect my destiny. Yes, 11 times, because repetition is ritual, and when you write it, you activate it. You claim your power, and you send a signal to the universe, I am ready. And if you're serious about unlocking your next level, watch the next video, the one on Capricorn's millionaire code. It reveals the 5 lucky numbers that are spiritually aligned with your abundance from now until June. You don't want to miss it, because your financial frequency is shifting, and the signs are already showing. But before we end, let me say this one last time. Capricorn, this is not just another week. This is your final karmic checkpoint, a divine moment where your past, your pain, and your potential are being weighed by the universe. If you ignore the tests, if you fall back into old cycles, the delay could last 7 years. That's not a scare tactic. That's a spiritual reality, because Saturn doesn't play games, and time isn't waiting. But if you rise, if you hold the line, if you trust your intuition, enforce your boundaries, and refuse to give up, then the gates of alignment will swing wide open. Opportunities you've prayed for, healing you've worked for, and blessings that have been divinely delayed, they'll finally flood in. So I'll leave you with this. The countdown has already begun. The test is here, the universe is watching, and the choice is yours. Capricorn, will you repeat, or will you finally rise?